everyone, how's it going? It's Jeff the IT guy. Today we're going to be working on an SMB server. And so what SMB is it's just a protocol so that you can share hard drives over your network. It works with Windows. And you may be asking yourself, well, why not use something like FreeNAS or BSD or something like that? Well, a couple reasons. One is I know that my iPhone, which I make all of my videos on, works with SMB. And so I can record a video and then share it straight to an SMB drive on the network through, over my network and stuff. And so it works really well with Windows, and that's why, because that's what this is for. I've lost some footage in the past, like I've accidentally deleted it and stuff and wasn't able to recover it. And so this is just a way for me to work into my workflow to be able to record the video, record my B-roll and everything, and then upload it to my SMB server, which is what this is. And so the case that we're going to work with, you've seen it a couple times. This is the Meshify Mini. Or no, it's the Meshify Compact is what it's called. So we're going to be working with it for our case. It's an MATX case. We've got, two Western Digital red 4 terabyte NAS drives. And so these are going to handle, a lot of read and writes and stuff. So these Western Digital red drives, they're made for NASs and stuff. So that's what we're going to use. It'll work great for this. We're going to put, Windows on a 250 gig, 2.5 inch Western Digital SSD. You'd think I was sponsored by Western Digital, but I'm not. For our motherboard and CPU and stuff, we're going to be using a B450 UDH3. This is a fairly cheap motherboard. We've got a Ryzen 3 1200 on here. So first gen Ryzen, it's a quad core, it's plenty. And we've got 8 gigs of RAM, which is plenty for what this is going to be doing. It'll get used just a couple times a week just to upload data to. So no big deal. And because we're using Ryzen, first gen Ryzen, which doesn't have graphics on it, then we have to have some way, for a graphical to be able to see graphics. And so we're going to be using a GT710. These used to be like $39, just dirt cheap. But because of issues here and there, getting like a GT710 or a GT1030 or whatever has shot them up in price to like over $100, which is insane. And just in case I need Wi-Fi, I've got this PC AC68 Asus wireless adapter card that's also through PCI. And so we'll put it in here as well. And that's pretty much the system, except for the power supply, which is a Lenovo branded FSP 400 watt gold power supply. And these are really just parts that I had laying around. And if you're, into computers and stuff, you've probably got parts just laying around. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. But if you do, then you can, make you up a server and stuff, or if you want to learn Linux. Really, the only thing that's new is the hard drives. And the reason for that is I don't want to use old hard drives to carry my data. Plus, I got them on Black Friday. So that's one of the things I wouldn't recommend using that's old, is your hard drives. If you're going to store data, like what I'm doing, you want to make sure, of course, that you have good hard drives. So let's go ahead and let's get started with the build. Okay, so we've got the case on its side. It is time to start putting stuff together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in this IO shield. It goes in the back here. It's pretty simple. This is a simple computer, so why not have a simple IO shield? It just goes in here in the back, hopefully. Yeah. We're just going to pop that in and biggity boom, we're done with that part. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the motherboard and everything. Now, if this was a full build and I hadn't, and all brand new parts, I would show you how to put the RAM and the, the CPU, the cooler and everything. but this is just all ready together. It's super simple. You know, we're just going to throw it in here. I just wanted y'all to follow along with me and with my progress. You know, kind of do something new here on the channel. Show that you can use some of this, you know, we'll say old hardware, and, you know, do something new with it. So we've got it in there. There's a standoff in the middle here that helps hold everything into place. I just gotta get my screws. I had them already separated, ready to go. And we'll start, you know, we'll just screw in a couple screws and that'll be that. Maybe, potentially. If I can see where they are. So there's like one up here. And there's a couple over there. I'm going to use a different screwdriver. I'm going to use my Be Quiet screwdriver that comes with all the Be Quiet air coolers. I mean, this is like super duper simple build. It really just has one task to accomplish, and that is store my data. That's all we want to do, is store my data. Good thing is it's small. It's not going to use a whole lot of power. So that 400 watt power supply, that's more than enough for this machine. Way more than enough. This thing probably won't use 200 watts, if even that. Would be my guess. Maybe not even that much. It shouldn't use hardly any. And so it's going to be, you know, relatively cheap to run as well. Set it up, it'll run full time. No big deal. So I'm going to plug in this rear fan. I may not even plug in the front fans, to be honest. This machine really doesn't need the airflow. The hard drives are covered and they're not going to be used a lot, so they're not going to generate a lot of heat, a ton of heat. So probably don't even need to plug those in, to be honest. Probably not going to plug in the front panel header for the USB 3. Really, all I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the power. And that's pretty much it. Power and power button. It goes right here, I believe. My phone, it's got my flashlight on it. I gotta get a flashlight. Here we go. Got me a flashlight so I can see these pin readouts. Speaker, power LED, power switch right there. Find the power switch on here. That's all we gotta do. Reset, don't need that one. Power switch goes down here in the corner. If I can quit blinding myself. Boom, done. Next thing we gotta do is we're gonna plug in some of the drive cables, the good old SATA cables. We'll plug a couple of those in. We need 3 for this machine. The one thing I don't like about this machine is the way that the drive, the SATA ports are marked, or not marked, but set up. They go this way. Okay, so that's pretty much it, except for power, our graphics card. I'm going to connect this via Ethernet. Let's see here. So I shouldn't have to worry about my wireless adapter. I may put it in anyways. We'll just see. Go ahead and put this in. Okay. So that is that. Next we got to put power in and our drives, and we're pretty much good to go. All right, so while I flip this over, while it's flipped over, I'm going to install everything else. So we'll put our drives in, and then we'll put the power in. So let's take out one of the drive sleds. Put a drive in and call it done. Now these drive sleds require screw holes. Boo, it's not toolless. That's a shame. What are you thinking about, Fractal? Not putting toolless drive on here. What kind of person does that? To be honest, I'm probably just going to put one screw in there. If it goes in and stays in, we'll call that a win. Boom. That's all you need. It's not in there very stable though. I guess we'll have to do two. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. It's not toolless. You gotta do this and put these screws in and all that stuff. Oh, come on now. Ah. There we go. Put one in each side. That should hold it in there nice and tight. Or tight enough, I guess. Next, we'll get the other drive sled out. Get our second hard drive. Now, if you were really wanting to be like hardcore with this, you can get a real NAS. But this is Jank. This is the Jank cheap NAS. It's all we can afford here on Jeff the IT Guy. I've got no sponsors, no family, no nothing. It's a sad time, boss. Sad time. I'm kidding, I do have family, but whatever. So we'll just, I mean, these drive sleds are pretty nice. I mean, they're not bad, I don't guess. Would be nice if they were toolless, but they are metal. Okay, so that's the second one. The second hard drive. So that's 2 terabytes there, or 2 terabytes. 2 4-terabyte drives. That way we've got all the data we can store. So, you know, that's several videos. Next thing we need to do is install the power supply. And so this one actually has a toolless, not toolless, but like an adapter. So you just take this adapter and put it on the back and hope it lines up. Yeah, there we go. Some of this, but you know, this is just a recycled power supply. You know, I mean, it came out of a Lenovo T5, I believe it was, or maybe it's HP. No, I think it's Lenovo. So it came out of like a Lenovo T5. So I'm just reusing hardware. I mean, there's really no sense in spending gobs of money on this, which is what you should do too. So if you've got some leftover hardware that's just hanging out, maybe you got an old, you know, Dell Optiplex or something, single stick of RAM, that's plenty. That's all you need for this to work, just so that you have some sort of storage, you know. Maybe your wife wants you to start keeping all of the pictures of her niece and nephew or the kids or whatever. So you don't need to spend a whole lot to be able to do this, if anything. You know, like I said, I'd buy new drives, but that's about it. Okay. So now that we've got the power supply onto our adapter. This power supply doesn't have a fan in it. I didn't realize that. Well, yeah, it's fanless. That's hardcore. Like I said, this thing won't even get 50% utilized. So we'll just stick this in. It's a small fan. Or not fan, but power supply. It goes in. We got all of our cables. We just need to pick the ones that we need out. So the one hope though is that this all fits. So we need our 24 pin, which is there on this, I put to the side. We need our 8-pin EPS that goes up at the top. So I'm trying to untangle it to give it literally as much room as I can get, which it looks like it's, yeah, plenty. And then we need 4 SATA power. And so one of these has 2 and the other 2 have 1 each. So for the one that has 2, we're going to use it over here to power our hard drives. And then we need 1 for our SSD. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Now, if we want to, we could put the SSD up here. But to be honest, an SSD doesn't have any moving parts whatsoever. So you really don't have to do anything with it. You can just kind of put it wherever you want, which is what we're going to do. We're just going to take it and we'll put it like right there. I mean, that's fine. That's perfect. It doesn't need to go anywhere else. We'll take the rest of these cables. Try to make sure I got the right cable here. Okay, that one's just straight 8-pin. That might be for a GPU. We're going to use the 2 that split because those are actually for the power. We're going to take all these other cables on here, whatever's left, and we're just going to shove it in here because we don't care. This is a low budget build. You know, there's not a whole lot we can do. I mean, if you had the opportunity to get a modular power supply, I'd definitely take it, but you know, we just want it to work. As long as this panel closes, that's all we care about. And it closes just fine. No warping or anything like that. So now we just got to flip it over and plug in our power. So we've got our 24 pin that's going to go here. Right there. We got a 8-pin that's going to go up here at the top, which is actually split into 2 4s. And then it's weird, it goes in on that side. All right, there we go. It's in. Let's reposition. So here it is. This is our little, you know, SMB server. Not a whole lot to it, to be honest. It's pretty simple. This may not fit. If not, that's fine. I believe it's going to, though. Yeah, there we go. Listen, we don't care. This is a no care, get it done sort of build. All we wanted to do is get it done because it's got a purpose to serve. So this is it. It's pretty simple. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. We actually do have some like real good content coming up. We're going to be looking at a test bench that I put together. We've got a ton of CPU cooler reviews coming, fan reviews, all sorts of stuff along that nature. Some stuff that's really going to be good. I just wanted to share with you a little project of me, you know, making sure that I was able to save some data. And so If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. Is this something you would do? Do you want me to do a video showing you all how to set up an SMB drive over your network and stuff? Just let me know. Thanks for watching. As always, keep it real.